have. Just watch. Look at the two sometimes. Here they come in 3 seconds. Ominous. Oh, shit, have never killed me, boys. What's going on, boys? It's Resi. What you're watching in the background is a 112 gun streak equivalent on. You already know that. You already know that. You already know the gun. Boys, the way I died was absolutely insane. This dude gets killed by a napalm strike in the middle animation of throwing a Semtex, and he doesn't even release it. Like he's not even in the yeeting animation. He's in like the wind up animation, but he never yeeted it. He died before it even went off, and there was 2 Semtexes that killed me. I still call bullshit on it. Anyways, it was a 71 gun streak plus a 41 gun streak. That was 52 unstoppables with a double nuke, so 112 gun streak equivalent. It was absolutely insane. Excuse me. In my eyes, it's still a 112 gun streak. We all know the bullshit. That's true standard right there. Anyways, boys. Y'all already saw the title. I don't want to waste any time. I only have like 12 minutes to explain why I think these teams are in this position. And we got to begin now, boys, right? At number 10, we have 1N. Now, the reason I don't view 1N as a horrible Pubstomping team, that's why they're on this list, because they're one of the best. But know this, boys. Even though a team is at 10, it doesn't mean they're dog shit. Just know that. It means they are good. Of course, this list mostly focuses on the impact of Pubstomping and the legacy they have left onto Pubstomping. Just know that, boys. My list will always be different. It's going to be way different than all of your guys, and if by some miracle one of you has the exact same list and you have a really big brain and you actually know what you're talking about, okay, no cap, right? But yeah, boys, 1N was a great Pubstomping team. It was good, okay? It was actually really good. The players that it had between the years of 2014 and 2016 was phenomenal. The amount of gameplays it got at that time was phenomenal. If you wanted to get into better Pubstomping teams, there was no better team to be in than 1N to actually get the notoriety, to actually get the exposure, and to, of course, get the experience of being in a true Pubstomping team. Now, 1N, as you're going to see with most of these teams, later on in its years, it was led by bad leaders, no drive, no passion, and of course, the infiltration of NCPs. But as we all know, boys, 1N for its time was great, and if you're in the team, you were pretty much set to be in bigger teams if you put in that passion, if you put in that work and dedication. Thank God I was never in it though, because I don't want to view myself as one. But anyways, boys, let's continue. At number 9, we have Apex. Now, in my eyes, Apex is the second best European team in the history of Pubstomping. Many people argue that they are the best one, without including the number 8 spot, which I'm about to bring up. But in my eyes, they came in too late in the Pubstomping scene, and now it's merely just content creation. But when Apex was a Pubstomping team, it was absolutely insane the amount of gameplays they got. It was absolutely insane the amount of people they had that were just insane. I'm really good friends with most of the members back in the day, especially Zuby, a French god. And by the way, Apex is primarily a French Pubstomping team, which is disgusting in my eyes. But now I'm playing. It's only a joke, boys. I don't actually dislike the French. Maybe, probably, maybe I don't. Who knows? But still, boys, great Pubstomping team, great European team, and definitely deserving of the number 9 spot. At number 8, boys, we have Ruin. As I said with Apex, really in contender of being the best European team, but in my eyes, they really are the best European team. This team mostly consisted of Germans, but of course anyone from different regions of Europe can join. And the amount of gameplays that Ruin produced was insane. I do think it was the highest quality gameplays of any European team, and it could even be compared to NA teams, especially American teams. I would even say in my eyes they had better gameplays than the number 3 spot, which I'm going to bring up later on. And boys, Ruin had great leaders. That's why it survived for as long as it did. People would still idolize Ruin for what it did in the European Pubstomping team. People were still fans of Ruin. My personal favorite member in the entire team was Creeper. The amount of gameplays he got and his personality was quite similar to mine. Just non-caring, did what they had to do. Absolute beast buckos, boyos, right? Absolute buckos, if that makes any sense. Anyway, that's enough. At number 7, we have We the OP. truly a beginning Pubstomping team for its time, with the amazing leadership that it had with Weevils and the other guys. It was just the epitome of Pubstomping. That's why they even had a montage called "This is Pubstomping," if I can remember, or "True Pubstomping." It was a great montage. This team basically made Pubstomping and montage creation the main center for future teams to come. That was the main thing that the team at number 6 spot would not only copy from them. I wouldn't say copy, but I would say master, because they truly did. But boys, without We the OP, we wouldn't have these standard practices in Pubstomping at all without them. They truly did help the community. They truly helped cement the legacy of Pubstomping. And of course, it's a shame what happened to them. Still, in my eyes, they will always be a true Pubstomping team, without a shadow of a doubt. At number 6, boys, we have Volts. Now, I was in Volt for a very long time, almost 2 years. And during my 2-year span with them, it was fun. It was amazing. That's when you saw the change in Pubstomping, which I will bring up about with the OP. There was Pubstomping, there was of course getting gameplays, but there was also a little mixture of montage making, people getting insane clips. And to be honest, at the time, I didn't think that it was going to be a good idea. But looking back at it, it really was a good idea. It truly did diversify Pubstomping in a great way, because most of these montages, though they were just getting clips, at the same time, a lot of these clips people were getting in these games, they were also getting crazy gameplays. And in my eyes, I didn't think at the time it was going to be good, but it really was, boys. It really was. Volt, in my eyes, is the best Pubstomping / montage team in the Pubstomping scene, besides We the OP. And of course, that not only inspired Volt, but also inspired 1N. And to be honest, boys, leadership, we all know how Volt began. It came from the ashes of AMP. And at that time, it was a great Pubstomping team. And in my eyes, it still is one of the best Pubstomping teams. Of course, as I said before in the beginning, and just right now, it's the same with all these teams. Bad leadership, NCP's infiltration just ruined it. But it truly was ahead of its time. At number 5, boys, we have Fbya. This is primarily an Xbox team. I'm pretty sure there's only a few PlayStation people that know about it, but Fbya stands for Feared by All. It was the epitome, boys. If I could name you one multi-team Pubstomping team, primarily only a multi-team Pubstomping team that existed on Xbox, that had as much notoriety and allure behind its name, it would definitely be Fbya. The channel still exists, but my friend owns it now. It's called Sensism. You can look at all the old gameplays from Fbya, boys. The quality of the gameplays they got was absolutely insane. To be honest, if Fbya would have been like truly mainstream in Pubstomping sense, actually recruiting from the other platform, which is PlayStation, and actually branching off with other teams, it would have been insane. Instead of just primarily organizing in multi-team, which ultimately didn't lead to expansion, but we all know the drama that happened behind it as well. But boys, just know this, boys. Without Fbya, multi-team would have never been truly mainstream with these other teams, and it was influenced by one team, which we will be covering next, boys. At number 4, we have AMP. We know the history. We know what happened to it. I'm not going to bring it up, but we all know what happened. AMP was, at its time, 2012, 2013, was the biggest Pubstomping team. And in terms of subscribers and followers, the members that it had they were absolutely great for Pubstomping. In the early era, would I say that these members, after what happened to them, would they be able to stack up to the 2014, 2016 Pubstompers? Definitely not. I would say no, because that's when Pubstomping was at its infancy. They were not as good as the older guys, or the newer guys after them. But still, they helped create Pubstomping for what it was. They actually brought the attention it needed. They actually helped create it. And boys, without AMP, none of these teams would exist. Absolutely none of these teams would exist. And that really is a scary thing, boys. How one team, one thing can create such an amazing and beautiful thing, yet, though it created it, it can backfire on it and destroy it can destroy itself while leaving the thing it created to live on and prosper. But still, boys, the sad thing what happened. Still wish I could hunt down that Gucci belt wearing degenerate that sold the channel. That's a joke, but anyways, boys. At number 3, we have TapX. And when you look at, you guys already know what the top 3 teams are. Obviously, they're the epitome of Pubstomping. TapX, boys, was in my opinion the most creative team in terms of name and players. I mean, look at the name, boys. It's literally TapX. What are you doing in COD when you're in tapping X? Oh, you're throwing C4? No shit, Charlotte. You're detonating it. But anyways, boys, you're responding. TapX in the beginning was primarily a spawn trapping team, and of course it evolved into pub stomping. But boys, in my eyes, pub stomping and spawn trapping, they're two really similar things. You can even compare the two sometimes. But boys, for its entire lifetime, from when it started, from when it existed, it was led by amazing people. Michael, Kevin, Goblin, all these old dudes from back in the day. Truly led TapX and truly made it for what it was. It was an amazing pub stomping team. It was an insane thing to be a part of. I was in TapX for a while. Actually, not for a while. I was only in TapX for a few months until Doom picked me up. But in my time, that's when I knew, like, these guys in TapX, if you're not going to be in Doom, either you don't want to or you're not getting picked up. TapX was an amazing team to be in. Amazing leadership, a great family all around, great personalities all around, great people, boys. Absolutely beautiful. And in my eyes, the whole entire pub swimming scene definitely filled with definitely the most brightest and the best people, and the whole in the entirety of pub stomping. At number 2, boys, we have Doom. I was in Doom for a good amount of time, almost 2 years, actually almost 2 years, and it was a shame, boys, because during the time cycle at the end, that's when you really saw the I wouldn't call it transformation. I would call it the degradation of pub stomping. And of course, it's not Doom's fault. The players itself, it's mostly the leaders. Doom, in its later stages, just became an NCP team, a content creation team as well. But during its early years, it was a great team to be a part of. Doom had truly segmented itself as an amazing pub stomping team, if not the pub stomping team. Now, boys, I had my stripes with Doom and its leaders at the time, and even up to now. I do not disrespect the team. I admire for what it was. I always loved what it was. And to be honest, boys, while I was in there, I was actually really proud to be with the team, to be in that team, to represent the team. They were always no nonsense, of course. The amount of gameplays that they've got with the amount of people they had was absolutely insane. It was always a tight group of people, boys. And as I just said with TapX, it produced amazing people. It produced amazing members. And without a doubt, definitely left its mark on pub stomping. Either if it was for the good parts in the beginning or at the end, the negatives. Number 1, boys, we already know who it is. It's Carnage, alright? Who even had a shadow of a doubt, boys? I know some of you will disagree with me with this, but boys, I'm looking at it from the impact of this. In the beginning, the impact that it had on pub stomping. And at the beginning, boys, when Carnage existed between 2012 and I would believe these are the pub stomping years that it actually had, 2012 to early 2017. That's when Carnage was at top of its game for pub stomping. It was absolutely insane. Amazing big names came out of this team. Sniper, Counts, and there's way too many even more to even bring up. Even Crackers, who was a montage dude, was in Carnage. It was absolutely insane. He was also in Doom, but still. Anyways, boys, Carnage took what the best qualities that made Amp and just amplified it by a million. It still exists. It's still an extremely large team. Would I call it pub stomping now? No, it's just NCPs now and content creation. But boys, at the time, what it was, Carnage was the definition of pub stomping. It was always the 3 best teams: Carnage, Doom, and TapX, always buying for control of pub stomping. And in my eyes, Carnage did it perfectly. They were able to adapt to its times, to difficult times. They let go of the people that they viewed as unnecessary, and they kept those they viewed as necessary. I know there's a lot of people that were still in the team now that were in it back in 2012. I'm talking to you, mans. aka mans, you old ass fuck. But anyways, boys, it's insane, boys, for what it has done for pub stomping. The positive it has left off will never be forgotten. I still, with one of these teams, I like to go look at the old gameplays, boys, and look at them. Just watch them be in awe. Like, this is what Pubstomping was. And now it's gone. Or at least it's still flickering. Still kicking. A few of us are still keeping it going on. But in time, it will disappear if more of these shit games keep being made and more of these NCP degenerates keep coming out from them. But anyways, boys, it's been more Resi. Have a great day as always. Don't forget to eat your potatoes. And peace.